If we want people to have their weekends back, if we want people to be able to afford homes, if we want people to have full-time jobs that can pay them what they need to survive, we can't just say getting rid of Ford and Trudeau is the answer. As somebody who really doesn't like Ford and somebody who barely tolerates Trudeau, I can tell you right now that getting rid of them is not the solution. The issue is the system. Look at the alternatives in Ontario. Merritt Stiles and Bonnie Crombie are both way better than Doug Ford, but neither of them are leaning in to the actual solutions that we need to see. They are making so much progress. They have made policy announcements that I agree with, like access to healthcare and family doctors, and there is a lot of good work there. But until we see a large progressive push, until we see somebody who is going to come out swinging with big ideas and functionally change the structure of the Canadian political economic system, I'm not talking about an overheaval of everything. I'm talking basic stuff, some stuff that we could actually accomplish, making us a little more like Europe. Small stuff. Until we do that, Ford, Trudeau, Pierre, Bonnie, none of it matters. And it's not because they're bad people. It's because this system holds politicians in a way that prevents them from making those changes. Whether it's money, or whether it's structure, or whether it's power. I believe that a lot of them are good people. I think even Doug Ford deep down thinks he's a good person and he's doing the right thing, even though he's a garbage person doing the wrong thing. The system. It's the system that needs to be changed. We need to change how we vote. We need to change how we allocate resources, and we need to start building things, and we need to start thinking forward to the future. We are surrounded by 20th century politicians. We need 21st century politicians who are thinking about the year 2050, not the year 2005. Ideas that I had been talking about with my friends on the playground and in elementary school and in high school and in university over the last 20 years are being talked about now as something we can maybe do in 5 or 10 years. If we had started working on solar energy 20 years ago when I was learning about it in school, about how amazing it was, Ontario would be an absolute energy juggernaut. We need to be ambitious. And right now, it's not the politicians inherently, it is the structure of the system that stops us from doing that. I am not saying don't be mad at Ford or Trudeau. And I'm not saying don't be excited about Bonnie or Merritt or Pierre or whoever. I am saying that we need to functionally change how we view politics and economics in this country, or things are just going to get worse. The neoliberalism approach that we have been taking since the late 1970s, early 1980s, with the advent of Reagan and Thatcher and Mulroney, and the progress that we've seen in that economic style and theory, it has gotten us nowhere. It has increased inequality. It has made each and every one of us poorer because corporations are squeezing us for every last dollar. The system needs to change. And it doesn't need to be an overhaul. I'm not talking revolution. I'm talking getting back to actual common sense, actual economic theory that we know that works, a new deal. Making it so that the rich are paying their fair share in taxes, making it so that average people can afford homes. You want to know how we do that? Unfortunately, part of that is going to involve crashing the housing market, which means that a lot of boomers are going to lose their retirements. And you know what? That sucks. But millennials are going to have to do most of the hard lifting on fixing this economy. Boomers and Gen X benefited from so much from this economy. And millennials are going to have to bear the brunt of the pain. And I'm willing to do that. And I know that a lot of us are willing to do that so that our kids can have a better future. But we have to start being realistic. There has to be some sacrifices, and we have to start looking at alternative options that aren't just more free markets. Because if free markets were going to solve this problem, it wouldn't have been getting worse since we made free markets expand. We need to think differently. We need to change our systems, and we need to be better.